What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you take two of a brand new action figure review. Today, we are looking at the Target exclusive Clone Wars referential package Obi-Wan Kenobi. Big thank you to Wolfstalker25, aka David. He was down in Florida visiting Galaxy's Edge and found Obi-Wans for myself and Justin. So that was awesome. Thank you again, David. And of course, like I said, this is take two, so I filmed the entire review already and forgot to roll the audio. So here we are once again. The package is already ripped open and it was in my garbage. So yes, I did pull it out so that I could show you it. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so of course, now that it's nice and ripped open, you can see the clone trooper here, and you get the 3D image of Obi-Wan, the name, and the 50th Lucasfilm logo. On the back side here, we have the Star Wars Clone Wars logo, Obi-Wan's name again, and the timeline here with the generic 50th blurb. And then on the bottom here is the barcode. So let's go ahead. We're going to not open him, and we will just jump into the accessories. And when I say accessories, I should have said accessory, because he only comes with his trusty lightsaber, although it is expertly painted this time around, featuring some nice silvers and golds, and also, of course, the same wonderful texturing details we've come accustomed to on Obi's lightsaber. Of course, you can see right there, we do have a peg for some weapon storage here. The lightsaber blade itself is completely removable here, and attaches right here on Obi's belt. It doesn't peg all the way in, but it pegs in enough to where you don't have to worry about it potentially falling out. And it looks dope. So let's go ahead and throw Obi on the rotating stand, and then we'll take a closer look. All right, and here is Obi-Wan. I mean, we already saw him out of the package, but here he is again out of the package on the rotating base. And you can see, of course, this figure looks absolutely fantastic. Really nice photoreal head. I definitely think the likeness to Ewan McGregor is strong. Now, as you can see, there are parts of this figure that are from the 2020 Clone Trooper body, such as the arms and legs here. So we have to already establish right out of the bat that the problems that plague those figures also plague Obi-Wan here, unfortunately. So you have to be very careful with how you pose those elbows. And of course, the knee pad is glued to the upper leg instead of the lower leg. But let's go ahead and just take a close look at the details. All right, so here we are up close and personal with Obi-Wan, and we could just take a look at that head sculpt there, which just looks absolutely fantastic. Side by side with the Walgreens version, obviously they are similar, but to me, they definitely look like two different sculpts. You can see his beard has really nice sculpt work, and it does have a wash applied to it. Also, same for the hair. Nice sculpting, and the wash is applied. Turning the figure back around, of course, we can see the armor right here across his chest is just painted brown plastic. You can see where they didn't paint underneath right there. And I think even though it does get a little sloppy around the edge work, it does look pretty good. On his shoulder here, we have the Jedi logo moving down throughout the tunic. This whole piece is a nice soft plastic, so it doesn't really get in the way of the articulation. The belt here has tons of pouches and a little bit of paint details there. And you can see on the back here, the pouches do continue. And on the underneath, you can see some nice sculpted wrinkles there on the black undershirt. And the tunic itself here definitely has some great texturing details. And moving down to the legs here, I think from the knee up, this definitely looks like it could be some new sculpt work here. Although it may just be the clone leg all the way through, just without the armor around it. Not 100% sure, as, you know, can't really remove the armor on my other clones. But you could see moving down here, he does have the clone armor legs, and they look awesome. So like I said, when he was on the rotating base, this Obi-Wan detail-wise is absolutely awesome. Definitely a really strong interpretation of the character, mixed with the realism to bring it into the Black Series really works for this particular Obi-Wan. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. For the head, he can look up pretty far. can look down ever so slightly. Of course, the head rotates around. And you do get side to side as well. It's on the double dumbbell joint, so there's the peg at the bottom and right there as well. For the arms, they go out about that far, and they definitely could have some trouble here. You can see this arm doesn't really want to go up very far, and when it does, I'm absolutely smashing the soft pauldron there. So really couldn't leave him in poses like that for very long, or else you risk potentially warping that. This arm goes up a little bit higher, but not by much. But you can see it's definitely not as bunched up as the other one. It does have butterfly joints, although they are very hard to see, and they just give just a little bit of wiggle there. The arm itself rotates around. The single jointed elbow here, to avoid any possible snagging or ripping, really only goes up about that far, although if you want to push it into dangerous territory, of course you get more than 90 there, but I'm not going to do that for very long because, as we all know, that is prone to ripping. Rotation at the elbow, of course. Obi-Wan randomly has a trigger finger here, but it rotates around, and it does have the vertical joint, which is great for lightsaber wielding characters, except this hand is sculpted way too open to really hold Obi-Wan's lightsaber. I mean, you could definitely fudge it, but it takes a little bit of finagling. And of course, the other hand is a grip hand with the horizontal hinge. And for the crunch here, that is about what we get going forward. Really not a whole lot of range there. And moving back, really not a whole lot of range there. You do get side to side out of the figure, and of course it rotates there as well. But as we know, most Black Series figures don't really have ab crunch, unfortunately. For the leg here, Obi-Wan can almost kick out all the way. Of course, you got to lift the soft plastic skirt piece up there, but even when you put it down, it doesn't want to collapse the leg or anything like that. Splits-wise, we get excellent range here. Obi-Wan definitely has a decent amount of kickback. We've got thigh swivel, single jointed knee, which, like I said, the knee pad is still glued to the upper part of the leg there, so it will look weird if you try and do any like crouching poses. Of course, it rotates at the knee. And for the feet here, they can go down about that far, and they can go up a decent amount as well. So pretty nice articulation. If you're familiar with the 2020 clone body, you'll be pretty familiar with this guy. So now let's go ahead and we're going to compare him to a ton of Black Series figures. Starting out with some Obi-Wan comparisons, we of course have the episode 1 and 2 figure. Then we have, of course, the Walgreens exclusive Tartakovsky Clone Wars Obi and the Old Man Obi-Wan. This is, of course, a head swap with the Kenner Retro Deco version. Moving on to some Anakins here, we have the archive release of the episode 3 Anakin and the Target exclusive Clone Wars release. Then we have Mace and Ahsoka. Moving on to some clones here, we have the Blue Line release of Commander Cody and the Entertainment Earth exclusive Order 66 212th Phase 2 clone. And here he is next to Captain Rex and ARC Trooper Echo. Then we've got Clone Pilot Hawk and a regular 501st clone, again from the Entertainment Earth Order 66 pack. Then we've got some 332nd boys. And of course, we've got to show some villains some love. So we've got Ventress and Count Dooku. Then General Grievous and Cad Bane. And finally, to wrap up the villains and the Black Series, we've got Jango Fett and the new comic book Sith Apprentice Darth Maul. And for some Bandai model kit action, we've got the Phase 2 Clone Trooper and the Shadow Stormtrooper. And last but not least, we have the SH Figuarts Tank Pilot and the Mafex First Order Stormtrooper. Alright, so there you have it. There was my review for the brand new Target exclusive Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Definitely an essential figure for the collection. Of course, do not cave into the scalpers on this. We haven't even seen if these figures are going to get restocked. I think there's a high possibility that we will see more of these figures coming. So just be patient, and I guarantee you'll find this figure at retail price, whether it's at store or from Target's website. But just take a look at how satisfying it looks to finally have clone Commander Obi-Wan with Cody, with a 212th Clone Trooper. I've waited so long to have a display like this going on in my collection, and I'm just super excited. It's going to look great. They're going to look so good together with Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka and all their corresponding clone troopers. The display really just got beefed up. So there you have it. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. Of course, I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.